The real purpose for celebrating this holy season is to revere the gift of Christ as Savior and Redeemer through expressions of peace and love, getting together, sharing and caring for each other. That we can all strive to do for all times. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkinson, your host for this edition of Jamaica Magazine. Thanks for joining us. On the pages today, some safety precautions for the holiday, plus getting your shipments through customs, then ideas to reach out and touch to make this world a better place. For all that and so much more, stay with us.
Each time you're not paying full attention to the road environment, the greater your chances of getting in a crash like that. Plan routes to avoid focusing on GPS systems, prevent children from roaming in motor vehicles, turn down the volume of car stereo systems, pull off the roadway if you have to use mobile devices, do not read, watch television or eat while driving, avoid multitasking, and keep conversations with other passengers to a minimum. Whether you walk, ride or drive, avoid potentially fatal distractions.
'Tis the season to be jolly, but we should never allow ourselves to be drowned in the distractions of the times. Instead, keep an open eye and clear mind on the watch for those among us with sinister motives. Bear these in mind.
Statistics indicate that during the holiday period, there's a significant increase in major crimes. And despite the best efforts, the numbers have been inching upwards as the years progress. The police, with their limited resources, are using every bit of muscle energy to combat the problem.
They're interacting in a non-confrontational situation, and people look around and say, yeah, I feel safe, the cops are about here. It's good for crime prevention, because the bad guys also see the police officer walking around.
But you also have a role to play. A headache is not needed when contemplating how to stay safe at your home. There is something called crime prevention through environmental design. Big term, but it's simple. You can begin by trimming excess bushes, installing security lights, or installing a security system from a reputable company. While you're at it, ask yourself this question.
If I lost my keys, will I be able to get back into my home? Aha! I can just open the back window. That means an intruder can also get in. I've got to fix that.
On top of that, you need to ensure that you lock all windows, doors and grills before you leave home. Ask a trusted neighbor to keep an eye on your home whenever you are out, but make sure you don't publicize your plans too much. Tell only those who need to know.
I need to stop hiding my keys under the mat and under the shell at my doorway. Nobody does that anymore. Wow, I've got a lot of catching up to do.
Likewise, make sure you have your keys ready as you approach your home. This way, you don't have to fumble in bags or pockets in search of them.
If you want a free crime prevention survey, police officers in the community safety branches throughout the country will be happy to come along, look at your home and tell you what crime prevention measures you might want to take to improve your security.
Believe it or not, there is also theft in the workplace, so you have to take precautions there too. Don't leave your handbags on desks with large sums of money exposed. Always put valuables in your designated drawer and keep it locked. Never assume a stranger wandering through a building is a member of staff.
Hi.
Challenge them with a simple,
May I help you? Okay, so let's go ahead.
Also, never allow anyone to remove office equipment without approval. As for the disclosure of information, regardless of how important the request seems, do not give any confidential information without receiving approval. That is definitely a no-no.
Do not be complacent.
You make it easier for pickpockets to sneak up and snatch any item that is catchy to the eye. And if you're being followed, cross the street to the other side. If the follower crosses as well, cross again. Remember though, walk facing the oncoming traffic. And if you're out shopping, keep your money in a secure location. Ladies, guard your handbags. And men, secure your wallets. Point of information to the men, your back pocket is not the safest place for your wallet. When using the ATM, don't exit with the money in hand. Put it in a safe place. The money in your hand is like honey to a nearby bee or thief. What about if you're in a bus? That's a no-no. You might very well wake up and realize that your valuable possessions have disappeared, almost like a magic trick. As for the drivers,
use the main roads. Don't use little shortcuts through areas that may be a bit dodgy or you don't know very well. Okay?
You're also reminded to lock your car doors after entering the vehicle and keep valuables out of the public's view. So the aim is to keep safe during the holiday season. Be alert. Be in the know. For any information and steps to keep safe, contact the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF's Community Safety and Security Branch. Call 929-1282 or 929-0226 or send an email to communitysafety@jcf.gov.jm.
Join the fight. Quit smoking for life. Business as usual at our island sports all year round. Business overload at this time of year. Personal barrels, parcels and commercial imports of all kinds arrive in greater numbers in tandem with the lights and sounds heralding the Yuletide season. Getting those goods off the ports can be a long, frustrating process for some people. This year, not so much.
We intend to provide to our clients, especially being sensitive of the current economic climate, and the ability to turn their containers around as quickly as possible.
Automation systems have drastically reduced processing times at the wharves.
This daily stripping schedule is also available on our website, and you can, as Christmas comes, you'll be able to get stripping schedules for several days forward. So you can just go on the website, as I said, click on the link. One is called container charges, one is called stripping schedule. You just go and access your information, and you have updates throughout the day. So you know when your container is stripping, scheduled for stripping, ongoing inspection, etc.
A 2-hour turnaround time is offered for commercial containers. And there's the one-stop shop.
The one-stop shop actually is the environment in which we have regulators from almost all our agencies required for the import or export of materials, and we also have quite an extensive distribution of customs officers. KCT being the environment in which we deliver the largest number of domestic containers, will be facilitating our clients by extending our gates up until 6 p.m. as of December 2nd. And with regard to our warehouse, we will also extend our warehouse times up to 7 p.m. if required.
Saturday openings may also be accommodated up to December 21.
We believe the Saturday opening gives our customers the convenience of the extra day without the pressure of having to get back to work to deliver cargo. When you're coming to Kingston Wharf, also remember that you will have to get your bill of lading from your freight forwarder. So if you're coming on Saturday and your broker or your freight forwarder is not open on Saturday, you would have to make arrangements to get those bill of ladings before.
The flat rate for clearing barrels containing personal effects is $6,500 per barrel. Technological systems are in place to quickly locate your barrels.
For our full container load customers, you can get your charges online. If you go to the Kingston Wharf website, which is www.kingstonwharfs.com.jm, there on the left-hand side of the homepage, you will see links for container charges. All you have to know is the reported date and your container number, and you'll get the full breakdown of your charges.
Full container load customers can also pay online through the Jamaica Customs e-payment service. As of 2014, that service will benefit barrel customers when Jamaica Customs rolls out its new IT system. For now, full container load customers also have access to a reservation system where they can collect containers up to 6 p.m. That's outside the regular 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. operating hours.
There is no additional charge for making those reservations or if you have to break those reservations.
Commercial importers can also take advantage of pre-clearance procedures. As for those going the normal route, here's the process. Pay your duties, go to a berth platform for the bill of lading. This plus your import entry form will be cross-checked with those forwarded by the shipping agent at the wharf's manifest counter. If the customs surveyor approves your import entry, a customs seal will be applied. You enter the port warehouse and indicate your import or imports to an accompanying custom officer. If all checks out, you're issued a gate pass and are now free to leave the berth platform and wharf with your goods in tow. To find out more, contact Jamaica Customs at 967-3288, Mondays to Fridays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. or email jamaicacustoms.gov.jm.
Sunday is a family day. We like cook together, talk, share ideas and help each other. We reason about things.
I spend quality time with my family every day.
It is very important because at the end of the day, you have children around you and you have to show them that, okay, this is the foundation, this is the way it's supposed to be.
They keep the family together and in line, you know, and especially with the boys.
Ordinary people can do extraordinary things to create positive change. It may begin with lending a helping hand to someone in need. Could this be you?
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
The eyesore of a community gets tidy because citizens feel they have a responsibility to act. A building gets a well-needed facelift and gifts for those in need. At-risk youth benefiting from academic and skills training, while poor performance gets tackled through extra lessons. All through the efforts of generous hearts, making tangible contributions and creating positive change. It's all part of nation building, inspiring hope and rewarding oneself with the joy of sharing with other people. And what better time is there than now? I've been thinking lately, and I think you should give it some thought too. The development of my community needs my input. But where do I start?
The very first place that I would encourage anybody who wants to be a part of the community, who wants to resolve to be active in their community, is to be a part of a community-based organization.
I firmly believe that participation is important to the development process. Action at all levels, all age groups, for deeds, not just words, get the job done. communities need the participation of its able citizens to do something to create positive change. Do you agree? What can we do? Volunteer, share good ideas, help fix a problem, show love, show that we care, if that's all we can do. So much to complain about, things not being done, the things we need for ourselves, for our communities, the plight of the less fortunate.
I tell people all the time that I think Jesus was a community development officer, because you don't see Jesus in the church every day sitting down, worshiping. You see Jesus in the streets, in the communities, right? So even in churches, be a part of the outreach groups in your church.
Where I live should be the best place to live. So issues such as roads, housing, water, sanitation, crime, unemployment and training is of concern to me, and it should be of concern to you too. Now is as good a time as any to give a helping hand through greater community participation. And I therefore resolve to do more to help. You should too. As a citizen, I know what's best for my community, the real needs. And waiting on governments to make decisions and effect change for me is not something that I'm inclined to do. I am subscribing to the idea of community self-help. The thing is, my participation as well as yours can help to solve our problems, but it will mean getting involved in a more organized way.
Under the local government reform process, the SDC has been very instrumental in setting up community development committees. These are umbrella organizations that captures the community-based organizations in the community. Then it provides an excellent opportunity to deal with the issues firsthand.
Together we can plan and implement projects using our expertise and resources to develop our community. While I make my resolve to be more active, why not join me? There are no age or gender limits for the willing and able. The various community projects and services that we'll have to carry out requires not only our time and expertise, but also funding. And here, the Social Development Commission comes in handy, getting formal development plans in place and helping with accessing financing through the Jamaica Social Investment Fund and other donors.
There is strength in numbers, so when a group represents a major concern or a minor concern within the community, you find that they will be heard on not just from the end of the government, but from non-government organizations, businesses.
So much we can do, starting in our own backyard. Then join others to work on issues we care about. Less hoping, less watching, less despairing, more doing. It will certainly contribute to a stronger, more self-sustained and organized country.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
This week on the Community Notice Board, the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation invites you to Christmas in the City, a one-day shopping extravaganza filled with loads of entertainment on Wednesday, December 18 from 9 a.m. to midnight at the St. William Grant Park. For more information, call 967-4196 or 948-5119. Are you creative? Well, enter the Digital Jam 3.0 mobile apps competition. Deadline for submission December 31, 2013. For more information, visit Digital Jam 3.0 at live.com and check them out on facebook.com/Digital Jam 3. Send us your events for broadcast on the JIS Community Notice Board. Call 922-868-022 or send an email to cbishop@jis.gov.jm.
my favorite food that I eat is rice and peas and chicken with vegetable on the side.
Rice and peas, baked chicken, curry goats, and sorrel drink.
Turkey with stuffing and rice and peas.
The rice and peas with oxtail.
Turkey? Yeah? What's wrong with that?
Turkey, pigs in blankets, and lots of gravy.
When I'm in Jamaica, my favorite food is stew peas and rice.
For me, I like everything. I like ham, barbecue chicken, pork, everything. But my favorite is like ackee and saltfish, and I love sorrel with enough ginger.
Memorial held for Nelson Mandela. Government outlines 4 strategic priorities for 2014-2015 and $6.8 billion received for budgetary support. Here's a recap of those and other important news stories from this week.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. Government announced 4 strategic priorities for the management of the country's affairs in the 2014-2015 financial year. From April 2014 to March 2015, the administration will be focused on the maintenance of fiscal stability, the preservation of national security and justice, infrastructural and human resource development, and social protection programs. These were agreed on during a special 2-day cabinet meeting chaired by Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller recently. Cabinet also agreed to the overall budgetary limits within the context of the country's economic reform program and committed to presenting the 2014-2015 budget before the end of March. Meanwhile, government this week received $6.8 billion in budgetary grant support from the European Union. The money will help to implement various development programs.
It is absolutely critical for us in meeting some of our targets overall with respect to our economic reform program and the extended fund facility.
The disbursements include $1 billion for the Tropical Storm Nicole Rehabilitation Program, $1.7 billion towards the Debt Reduction and Growth Enhancement Program, and $4.1 billion for the Sugar Sector Reform Program. The Senate has joined the lower house of Parliament in passing the long-awaited omnibus legislation, which seeks to create a cohesive regime to govern all tax incentives.
Comprehensive reform of Jamaica's many tax incentive regimes requires the implementation of a more transparently accessible and broad-based competitive tax regime, which can both act as a catalyst for investment and economic growth across all economic sectors and also be administered in an efficient and effective manner.
4 pieces of legislation are contained in the omnibus tax incentive regime. They are the Stamp Duty Amendment of Schedule Order Resolution, the Customs and Tariffs Revision Amendment Order Resolution, the Income Tax Relief Large-Scale Projects and Pioneer Industries Act, and the Fiscal Incentives Miscellaneous Provisions Act. The Caribbean Telecommunications Union, CTU, has taken steps to ensure unrestricted internet access for the region's nationals, including Jamaicans. CTU has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, ICANN, to facilitate the process. At the signing, President of the CTU and Minister of Technology, Philip Paulwell, said the internet had been largely unrestricted, but with warnings of possible restrictions and barriers in the future, the MOU was a step in the right direction.
Need for us to ensure that that doesn't happen, that the whole business of domain name management, name and numbers, that management be seen for its strategic importance to member states.
Meanwhile, the Science and Technology Minister is encouraging significant scientific research into medical marijuana, citing its potential to earn billions.
This plant is enormously versatile, and Jamaica could reap significant social and economic benefits. First, from the development of a ganja-based nutraceutical industry worth over $2.5 billion in the USA alone.
Minister Paulwell was delivering the keynote address at the launch of the book Cannabis, Marijuana, Ganja, The Jamaican Global Connection by Professor Henry Lowe and Professor Errol Morrison. He has instructed the Scientific Research Council to lead efforts to galvanize stakeholders interested in the research and development of medical marijuana. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson this week presented the University Hospital of the West Indies with a new ambulance. He also announced plans to deliver another 10 ambulances to the public health sector's emergency care fleet by June next year.
This will create great relief for our patients in terms of greater efficiency, moving them across Jamaica.
The National Solid Waste Management Authority, the NSWMA, will be spending $45 million on a program to deal with the higher volume of garbage that comes with the holiday season. The island-wide cleanup effort will be executed from December 15 to January 12, 2014, and involves clearing illegal dump sites as well as the removal and collection of large waste.
In addition to collection, the public cleansing aspect of the program will require additional sweeping and removal of waste generated by commercial and festive activities, particularly in the market districts, but not confined to these areas.
The NSWMA is also partnering with community-based groups to carry out a public education program to minimize littering and dumping and to lead to a behavioral change in garbage disposal practices. And finally, there was an outpouring of governmental officials, dignitaries and members of the public at a local memorial service for the late former South African President Nelson Mandela. It was held Thursday at the University of the West Indies, Mona Chapel. Dr. Peter Phillips, acting on behalf of Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, read the first lesson, while opposition leader Andrew Holness read the second lesson. In his tribute, former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson spoke glowingly of Mandela and his long ties with Jamaica.
His actions demonstrated the importance of the unity of words and practice. He was a beacon for reconciliation and a fountain of magnanimity. As he said in his inaugural speech, he enabled both black and white to walk tall, assured of their inalienable right to human dignity, a rainbow nation at peace with itself and the world.
On Friday, members of both houses of Parliament paid tribute to the late South African leader in a special joint sitting of Parliament. Before that, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller was in South Africa representing Jamaica at the memorial service for Mr. Mandela. It was held at the FNB Stadium in Johannesburg on December 10. And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolfe.
That brings us to the close of today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. It was good sharing this half hour with you. Don't forget, we value your feedback, so drop us a line. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. You may also follow us on Twitter at JIS News. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson, inviting you to join us again tomorrow. Until then, do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.